guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Crown Eurocars in St. Petersburg, Florida, and guess what? We have that one full-size body-on-frame SUV that really is a dream car for many. It's this vehicle right here. This is your Cadillac Escalade. This particular one is a sport. But before we get into one of the original big-name luxury, big-size SUVs, let's talk about what's going on here. Go back to 1999. It's crazy because Cadillac was following the footsteps of Lincoln with the Navigator. The Navigator was first, then came the Escalade. GM wasn't sure though exactly how successful it would be. So what they did was they basically took a GMC Yukon Denali, smacked some Cadillac badges all over it, and it wound up actually surprising many that when the second gen came back in 2002, that's where we see a fully specialized Cadillac Escalade. Now, of course, the talk of the town today is still all about the Escalade V, 682 freaking horsepower. But what happens if you don't want to go to that extent? What happens if you just want to have something that's sporty, but also has that Escalade name? Is this Escalade Sport the one to buy over a Denali Yukon, the original sort of where we started with the Escalade? So let's find out, should you go Escalade Sport or should you go with the GMC Yukon Denali? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Escalade and find out. Right off the bat, full size, full in your face, and that's what you're gonna find with both the Escalade and the GMC Yukon Denali, because even though they still share the same platform, which is that full-size body-on-frame platform, they each have their own unique touches. Now, at the front of the business, I really love with this generation how they did the LED headlight housing. Small, but not as small as what the refresh is bringing for 2025. The very, very sophisticated LED lighting on the corners, that's your daytime running lamp and your turn signals. And then I like on the Sport, all of this is body colored and just a little bit of this fake vent area, which I am gonna zonk because that should be LED fog lamps down below. Now, as we come across the grille with that massive Cadillac crest, big enough to where Flava Flav can hang this around his neck, you do get a forward-facing camera, and because this is the Sport, this is the Sport Spec grille with the gloss black all the way around the perimeter. Now, as we drop down, really nicely done with the clean lines. And then for some reason, they decided to keep this down here, even though it's not functional. So really curious why they would do that. I think it would just simplify the whole style if that just went body color all the way across the front. But like I said, with the Sport, you're not getting the bling bling and chrome or any shiny aluminum bits at the front like you would get on a Yukon Denali. But let me know what you think about the front of this beast. Now, as you rise up, love the massive size hood, the indentations, give it just enough character, the nice rise in the center. This is really separating it from the GMC Yukon. When we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tires. So on the Sport, you're gonna get these specific Y-spoke wheels all the way around. This is a 22-inch wheel. Tires are 275 on the width, and you got a nice 50 series sidewall. Of course, you're gonna have the MagneRide suspension. That's gonna fine tune every nanosecond. And we have power getting to the ground all four corners. Of course, an Escalade is rear wheel drive based, and then power gets sent to the front wheels. No flat black, and I'm really digging this dark charcoal gray blue color. I wish the sun was out. Unfortunately, we kind of have to work with what we have, but definitely looks very, very sporty, but also classy at the same time. Now, before we go down the rest of the side of the vehicle, you can see those laser etch markings that they put on the corners of the headlights on the inside of the housing. Up top, you're gonna get color matched on the mirror caps, your turn signals, built-in LED turn signals, and 360-degree cameras. If you've ever wondered what is a full-size SUV looks like, this is it. And of course, you could go ESV, which gives you even more room for the third row and the cargo area. Now, I like the way it's got the gloss black roof rails. They're not raised. They're close as they could be to the body. And then you're gonna notice the dark finish around top and bottom around the window openings. Door handles are color matched with the LED lighting. And remember, to open up the door, you just hit the button. You actually don't pull on the handle. And then you have your automatic running boards that drop down. Love that feature because it keeps the sporty look, but it also gives you the versatility. Now, as we swing around back, the crest on the side, this is something on the redesign that they got rid of for 2025. So just something to be aware of. Large quarter glass window. And then when we spin around back, it just looks fantastic because no exposed wiper. Wiper is tucked underneath, and that's the same on the Yukon Denali. Nice long roof spoiler, and then the lighting. I mean, it's just, this is stuff that looks like it could be in a museum, the way that they did all of the intricate design appointments. You got another crest on the back, of course, and I'm glad that they just went silver with the gray accents. This is the button to open up the back. And they even went complete with black badges for the Escalade name because this is the sport trim. Now, as we work our way down the ground level, you'll notice our decorative gloss black trim rings. There's functional exhaust on both sides. And remember, this cover comes off to where you can tow with your Escalade. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of one of the original. All right, guys, we got the hood up. There it is. That's that naturally aspirated V8. Now, for this particular generation, you can still get a Duramax turbocharged diesel engine, but for 2025, it is gone. That will be the big difference moving forward, is that you can still get the turbo diesel engine on the Yukon Denali from GMC. But what are we talking about when we look at power? So you're looking at, obviously, of course, that 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. It's got a 10-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in this thing, 5.8 seconds. Quarter mile, 14.3 at almost 100 miles an hour. And then when you look at, well, what about MPGs? 14 in the city, 19 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs around 6,270 pounds. So obviously, when you're going this type of vehicle, MPGs are probably not going to be the biggest concern, and really it's mano a mano, same across the board for the Yukon Denali because it shares the same exact engine platform. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this V8 and hear its rumble. All right, guys, we are inside this 2023 Cadillac Escalade Sport. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, you're right. Back when I was in school and the Escalade came out, I really wanted one. I think it's time to finally pull the trigger. I've always dreamed of it. Lay it on me, though. How much is this? This particular one, the way that it's optioned and the miles that it has an asking price of $82,291. Let's see how it stacks up to the Yukon Denali, to the door panels. I love the materials. You got that soft touch leather style with the white contrast stitching. The big zonk is the brown wood finish. Who in their right mind chose that at General Motors for trim in not only an Escalade, but a Sport? So get rid of that. I do like the fact right above the door handle, you got your heated seats and ventilated seat buttons. The armrest, super soft, and then you'll notice that you have that creamy white piping with the stitching, and then instead of gloss black, that's actually carbon flash metallic, which, believe it or not, hides the fingerprints pretty well. Door pocket large enough for two of those biggie bags from Wendy's with the nugs and all the other crap that's in the bag. You do have your 36 speaker AKG premium sound system. And then going from the door panel to the dash, more of that great leather material, the stitching. Just get rid of this. This just looks, it doesn't look good. It's reminding me of a number 2, and I'm not talking about number 2 from McDonald's either, just so you know. It just kills the vibe in here. This is Sport, not fuddy-duddy. More of that great stitching. On the side, you could easily put 2 bananas and you got a 12 volt. What's interesting is that if you have your bananas because you need potassium, it's actually better to eat broccoli. You get more potassium from broccoli. So maybe you just put a head of broccoli there. Cuts down on the amount of sugar. But let's get to our infotainment system. You got the 36 combined screen setup. I like the way they separate everything. Easy to get to, touchscreen. It's got all the familiar apps, the cameras, and that's one of the things I'm always blown away in a General Motors product are the cameras. Super clear resolution, 360, the whole shabam, and you got the air ride suspension, which is great. Right back where we started. Working our way down the toggle switches for our dual climate control. There's your engine start-stop button. Love the stitching. This is going to control your 10-speed automatic. You got a direct drive control knob if you don't want to touch the screen. Real volume knob. Wireless charging. More of that brown, which I can't stand. 2 cup holders. A place for some Tic Tacs. USB-C, USB-A. And here's your Cadillac fob. It's got the Cadillac crest on there. Remote start, which is really nice. Close that up. There's more of that leather. The Escalade badge. And then look, you open this up. You could easily put, I would say, take this stupid tray out, like get rid of this, and you could put 2 boxes of Fruity Pebbles in there. I freaking love Fruity Pebbles. I remember when I was a kid, there were 2 things, actually 3 things. I'd watch the Flintstones, I would eat my Fruity Pebbles, and of course I would have my Flintstone vitamins. My favorite were the Dinos. Love the Dinos. I thought they were candy. USB-C, USB-A, and a 12 volt. And then the seats, the leather. Look at the way they got the AKG in the headrest. Love all the stitching, the piping. Full electric assist for the passenger. Full electric assist for the driver. And then you have that panoramic sunroof up there. And you got massage seats. Right now I just turned on the massage seat and I'm getting a little bit of a Ginsu kind of massage, full body massage right now. And there's speakers everywhere in here. This is like a rolling Circuit City store with the amount of screens and speakers. And you got a digital rear view mirror. One more screen. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Escalade. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You got 2 memory seat settings. I do like the Escalade badge that illuminates LED. You got all your seat controls, easily accessible. Plus, you push that button right there for the massage. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel great. I think the only person that would have a problem getting in here is Shaq. But I'm sure he's got a custom-built Escalade, so don't you worry your little head. Especially with all the freaking commercials that Shaq does. The General, Papa John's, Gold Bond Cream. I mean, the guy is a marketing genius because his face is everywhere. Steering wheel, the leather, get rid of the brown. I can't stand it, but I do like the stitching. And you'll notice that this does have Super Cruise. You got paddles on the back for the 10-speed automatic. I wish they were metal. And you do have an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And this is where you could raise and lower your Escalade. And you got your mode selector button. And then that beautiful dash. I mean, that looks fantastic with the nice digital graphics and everything. Clear head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the mid-row and the third row and see what you could haul in this Escalade. All right, guys, mid-row and third row time. Obviously, you're gonna have tons of room in here. I love the captain's chairs because they give you a human-size armrest for a human arm. Get all the same great stitching, seat slide, and the recline. And I love the fact that you have Alcantara all over the headliner. You have these 12-inch touchscreens on the back. There's Steven's favorite show, Mr. Beast. He watches Mr. Beast all the time. And what's great is if you have somebody who's really short, you could tilt the screen down. And what's nice about this, these things don't feel like they're ever going to loosen up. I can't wait to see in the future, what year will it be and how many miles will a vehicle have to have where this will just be flopping around like a piece of paper. But you got a nice command center here. Get the armrest out of the way. Only heated seats, no ventilated seats. That is a zonk in a vehicle of this level. 2 cup holders. Down below you got USB-Cs, HDMIs, and a home power source. Plus you have, of course, the wireless headset for the screens. I got a screen, you got a screen. We all scream for screens. I'd rather scream for ice cream, though. I'm going to go ahead and get in the third row. The way that we do it is, without getting hit in the face, that goes down like that. That raises up. Look at all this room. I could actually go like this and kick Steven right in the head. But if you come back here, this is what it's all about. You got plenty of room. My knees are nice and low, not even close to the headliner. I got AC vents, USB-Cs. I got a cup here for some Yoplait. Feeling really good. Why don't we get into the cargo area, because I want to take you for a drive in this Escalade. All right, guys, cargo area time. Like I said, how do you open it? Look at that, the power punch. Opens up, nice electric assist. You got about 23 cubic feet of space with that third row up. I love the way you got your 8kg subwoofer in the back. Nice to have that. And then what's great is on the passenger side, this is where all your switch gear is. So you have your home power source. You can fold down the mid row. And now we're gonna fold down the third row. Look at that, 60-40 split, baby. Nice and flat. Opens up the room. Of course, the mid row can fold down. Just to show you, third row, there's that USB-C I was telling you about. It's on both sides, and I do like this softer material is nice. And then, of course, to lift the seats up, look how easy that is. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Very, very nice. But why don't we go ahead? It's that time. This is an Escalade. Many people dream of owning one. Let's show you if it's worth the squeeze, if the juice is worth the squeeze. Let's go on throttle in this Escalade. All right, guys, we're in this 2023 Cadillac Escalade Sport. I'm gonna go ahead and you can see the different modes. I'm gonna put it into sport mode, and what's great is that you could adjust each of the settings within that mode. But awesome visibility across that big aircraft style hood, aircraft carrier. But we're gonna roll out and we're gonna go on throttle. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. 10-speed drops down and we're off. So what's great about it being a 10-speed automatic is that it's really tuned well for the naturally aspirated V8. The torque delivery is super smooth. And then with the Magna Ride air suspension, you're getting this very comfortable ride, but you also feel like you're connected to the pavement very well. 38 inches of screen. Love the way they have it set up. It doesn't feel like there's too much screen in here. And that's the thing, is moving forward, the new Escalade is gonna have the screen going all the way across the dash, 55 inches of screen. We'll see how people are gonna really gravitate towards that, but everything is very, very well laid out in here. I like the fact that when you make adjustments to your seat controls, you could actually pull it up on the dash display, which is nice as well. Of course, you go into home, and then you can go into your different features on the screen. You can control the rear media. Like the way they have that very easily done in this whole system. Really, really makes it very easy to operate. But I know it's been like forever and a day since they've added more horsepower and torque, but I really think 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, plenty of power for this beast. And the fact that it's 6,000 pounds and still has plenty of get up and go really, really shows the overall setup of the Escalade is a winner right out of the box. Got a nice head-up display, but going down the road, getting a massage by the massage seat, it just feels fantastic. And the fact that you're in an Escalade, I mean, this is, like I said, when I first started teaching high school history back in 2002, I can't tell you how many students said their dream vehicle was an Escalade. So interesting to see how Cadillac has been able to bring that vehicle to the forefront. And overall, I definitely like it better than the Lincoln Navigator. I feel like the Navigator's a little too soft. It's a little too cushy. It's like you're living a Nerf life. Whereas with this, it's like you got the luxury, you got the class, you got the panache, and you got the performance. And if you want more performance, they'll bring you more performance with the Escalade V. But great job with the sound deadening material. Tons of room inside the vehicle for everybody. And just one of those vehicles that really, when people hear the name, it brings a certain level of understanding to the table. But as you can see, going down the highway with the great sound deadening material, the acoustic windshield and side glass, the thickness of the side glass really shuts you off from the world around you in a very good way. And you're getting V8 rumble on the interior. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of what the Escalade Sport is all about. We're gonna get back to Crown Eurocars and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day. So many ways. Definitely want to thank Michael and the rest of the team at Crown Eurocars for allowing us access to this Escalade. If you're new to the channel, though, let me know in that comment section what you think. Should you go Escalade? Should you go GMC Yukon? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Of course, we need to give it up, Stephen Flood Photography, working that camera like a champ. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.